Welcome to this 9,000 subscriber special here on YouTube. Thank you for your support, for following the channel, for all of your feedback and comments. We really appreciate it. And for this video, I thought I'd do something special, something I haven't done before. I'm going to show you 7 synths that I think are total sleepers, super underrated in the market. Stick around till the end of this video because I'm also going to show you a bonus feature of a multi-effects that is incredible for synthesizers and that I would bet you've never seen or heard before. So check it out. It's going to be really worth seeing because you can also pick those up silly cheap at the moment. All right, let's get this video going. In order for me to do this, we're actually going to use some videos for this. And the first one I want to show you is the Waldorf Rocket. Have a listen to this. So that is the Waldorf Rocket, which is a digital synth with analog filters, if my memory serves me correctly. I used to work for this company before distribution. I actually made the music for this video. 13 years ago? As you probably know, Waldorf are good friends of mine. And when I heard this back again recently, I was like, why did I ever lend this synth to a friend and never saw it again? It is one of the most brutally fat little synths I know that you can pick up right now for like 150 euros. So highly, highly recommend it. I will definitely get one of these in my life again very soon. All right, the next synth I want to show you is the Seal Opera 6. It's an Italian manufacturer. A friend of mine had this in the shop I used to work in Hamburg Digital Audio Service. He had it lying around there. I need to reach out to him, see if he still has this because my God, it sounds good. Have a listen to this. What a sick synth. It's kind of like the Italian version of a Juno 106 maybe. So it's similarly based on DCOs, but I just think the tone it has is really special. So yeah, really amazing. This is not exactly like a cheap synth, but I've seen these come up from time to time at really reasonable prices, and I have got my eye out for one of these. But I don't want to gatekeep this stuff. Like if you find one in your area, then nab it up. All right, the next one I want to show you is maybe a bit of a surprise, but when I recently found this video doing some research for some stuff, my jaw dropped because I used to own a Virus C and I sold it because I got so tired of its sounds because it has this particular kind of sound, but actually people kind of agree that the Virus B sounds a bit more dark and a bit more raw. And when I heard this video, which is demoing like a recreation of a famous Sasha Expander track, have a listen to this. What a sound! And like you can grab these now used for $400 or $500. I've even seen the Indigo, which you would need to get the first version. There's an Indigo 2, which is the Virus C. I think the B is really the sweet spot, which would be the Indigo 1. Those are a bit more coveted. Like I've seen those come up for around $800 to $1,000. But yeah, what a sound. I mean, unbelievable. And this is a very, very capable synth. And I do think these older versions sound better than the more modern post-Virus C, TI, etc. versions. I've seen a Virus B keyboard over on Germany's secondhand platform now, Kleinanzeigen, which is the big one with an incredible high quality keyboard for, I think it was 500 euros. So if you're looking for the now very en vogue kind of trancey sound, I mean, this synth can do a lot. What a good sound, my God. So also, I think very much a sleeper and something I can highly recommend. Moving on next now to another synth, which is stupid underrated and so affordable. I've seen these come up for 500 euro used regularly. It's the Electron Analog Keys. Have a listen to this. I mean, how brutally fat is that? I used to own this at some point. I sold it because it has one drawback for like old fogies like me. The screen is kind of small in old school Electron style and I just struggle to really read it. But in essence, for $400 or $500 used now, you can get an amazing MIDI keyboard that also outputs CV as well as MIDI on separate parts. Of course, you get incredible Electron sequencers inside, but it sounds brutally fat. It has an incredible sequencer. The MIDI keyboard and overall build quality is incredible. It has built-in effects. Like, you could basically make entire tracks just with this thing and they'd be very, very high grade and yeah, silly cheap on the used market now. I brought in something modern also. I've owned two versions of this, like a mini tiny one, which I sold because it didn't have MIDI in, which means you couldn't pitch the notes, which was a shame. And I had the old original kind of bigger clone from one of these people that cloned these before Behringer did. And unfortunately I sold it, but actually that was really great because you could detune the notes. Have a listen to how sick Mr. Starsky Carr has gotten this thing to sound. Yeah, I hope he released that track because it's sick. It's really, really good. And I'll link, of course, all these videos in the description so you can jump to them and actually listen yourself on your system. But yeah, I've owned a couple of these. They are incredible for like weird percussion glitchy stuff, but actually now with the Behringer clone, you could also use them for bass lines as you choke because they respond to MIDI notes now. I have one of these in my shopping basket on Thomann now since a couple of days because I really want to have one again that I can MIDI pitch. The way that these things sound in kind of their like very simple envelope low end stuff, there's just something really magical and special about them. So it's beyond just being incredible for glitchy electronic minimal house tech percussion, it's actually a really great bass synth also, and it's like under $200. So it's a little bit of I sneaked in a modern synth here, but I wanted to share this one with you because it is so unbelievably good sounding and actually very, very versatile. Moving back to weird old stuff that may be flying under your radar right now, check out this Juno 2 in combination with a nice little controller.
This one's called Berlin because it reminded me of the song in the Top Gun soundtrack by Berlin.
Why is it so fat? Oh my God. So yeah, like everyone knows the Juno 106, 660, they're pretty expensive these days. I find the Juno 106 sound, I'm a bit allergic to it. I had two of those. I sold them and I was quite happy to see them go because they have a certain thing about them that I couldn't hear anymore. A Juno 6 or 60 I would love to have. That's a different vibe. They sound very cool. The arpeggiator on them is sick. And this is basically when the DX7 came out. Roland kept the analog synthesis engine, DCO based, for the Alpha Juno 1 and 2. The 2 has a bigger keyboard and a few other kind of advantages. This actually has way more waveforms than a lot of synths that came after that, but you need a controller to get the most from it. But my God, it sounds good. And it sounds like a more interesting Juno to me. And these come up used all the time for 400-500 euros. And now let me show you something finally, which is a discrete synth by EOWave. I used to work for them indirectly through the distribution company before distribution that I used to work for. This is one of the most brutally fat little synths that I ever heard, and I wanted to share it with you. I really regret that I sold this. It is an incredible little synth. Have a listen to this. I remember filming this video in my studio back in the day. I don't know what I filmed this on, like on a Polaroid, because the pixels is 360. And at that time, I still thought it was a good idea to wear a big watch on a video when demoing something, which is not generally such a great idea, I know now. So yeah, 13 years ago. In any case, very fat little synth. There's something about discrete circuits. I don't know, maybe I'm superstitious, but I think they sound better. This thing has 12 volts AC also as an input, which is kind of weird. This thing sounds really, really good. So yeah, very, very recommended. If you can find one of these, check it out. It will surprise you how brutally fat it is. All right, and now as promised, as a bonus, I want to show you a very rare, very weird, underrated synth multi-effects, or like it's a multi-effects, but it was used on a lot of 90s sort of drum and bass and ambient music. And I have one actually in the studio here. It's sitting over here in the corner. It's amazing for processing synths with. It has the best stereo tempo sync delay that I know. Something about how it bounces and how wide it is really special. Let me show you what this sounds like, because if you're looking for a multi-effects, this is really good, and you can get these again for a couple of $100 used. Let me show you a couple of the other patches that are also on this video. There's one here that's like a space echo tempo delay. Yeah, this one. I'll show you the delays also, as I mentioned them before. Why does it groove so good?
The delays in the RSP 550 are extremely good as well.
I
and
agree.
The feedback can actually go over 100%, up to 120% for crazy delays.
Okay, before this blows out my ears, let me show you the other delay, which is the one I use in my studio now all the time. It's kind of just set to that because it's like the best delay that I know. This ping pong tempo delay. Check this out. Why is it wider than any plugin I own? Why does it groove so good? Total sleeper multi-effects for synths, and I can really recommend looking into this guy. It has a lot of like weird reverb into chorus, into flanger, into delay, and back into reverb kind of programs in it. it's not like your average kind of, like reverb, chorus, whatever. Like all of the stuff just mangles your sound in a super cool way. So yeah, again, something that I can highly recommend looking into. All right, I hope that this video was fun, that I've shared some things with you that hopefully won't break the bank, but may give you some really inspiring options for sound in your studio. There's a couple on this list, like the Seal or the Juno 2, that are kind of burning a hole in my pocket and mind that I'm kind of trying to avoid buying, but I may do at one point because it just sounds so incredibly good. And yeah, the Virus B also, it's kind of blown my mind a bit. So I hope that you enjoyed this list, and yeah, let me know if you pick up one of these. If you find one of these used somewhere for a good deal, please put it in the comment. Did you know all these already, or were some of these fresh to you? And again, thank you very much for supporting the channel, for everyone that bought our latest workflow that came out, the DNA suite, everyone that sent us their feedback that they loved it. It's so great to hear this. And yeah, we hope to see you on the next video, and that you're having a great time in the studio. And we'll leave here with a little bit of music. Let's go back to this Juno track where this nice guy, Jim Daneker, was playing some really cool stuff.